Coming up on WFT's First at 5, more evidence surrounding the officer-involved shooting of 3 dogs is released. We have a live report out of Marion County.
Plus, a days-long space flight turned into a 10-month stay, but now it may finally be time to come home. We bring you the latest on tonight's SpaceX launch.
And a message from one local school district has immigrant allies upset and ready to speak out. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
The Ocala Police Department is speaking out for the first time since last month's neighborhood dog shooting. The incident left 3 dogs dead and an outcry from the community. This is First at 5. I'm Charlize Ramos.
And I'm Juan Chaoui. 2 police officers were reassigned for the response to these aggressive dogs. WUFT's Carolina Tortorelli is live from OPD, where a press conference was held just a few hours ago. Carolina, police said it was a mistake for officers to kill one of those dogs.
Overkill. That's how Police Chief Mike Balkan describes this tragic event. 30 gunshots and a presser later, we've learned a little bit more about OPD's protocols moving forward. Five gunshots killed 2 dogs. 25 more shots were fired at the third. Ocala police officers Jordan Woods and John McCurdy were immediately reassigned after the incident. They received a violation of misconduct as a result. Ocala Police Chief Mike Balkan says he believes killing the first 2 dogs was justified. Chasing after the third one was a mistake.
Unfortunately, this was a tragic event, which I believe we simply got wrong. Our actions were unreasonable, and we've had to take measures internally to ensure that that doesn't happen again.
Officer McCurdy is facing a 100-hour suspension, while training officer Woods is facing a 20-hour suspension. They will return once their suspensions and remedial trainings are completed. The police department now requires officers to use non-lethal force options when dealing with aggressive animals.
We've also incorporated practical training related to encounters with aggressive animals, and again, that training puts a huge emphasis on pepper spray being the preferred method for dealing with aggressive animals.
Authorities say the animal service was called about the dogs multiple times prior. Reports show the owners received 15 citations for the same type of aggressive behavior, as well as failure to provide proof of rabies vaccination. Chief Balkan emphasizes how this event could have been easily avoidable if the right steps had been taken. He highlights how it is a pet owner's responsibility, both morally and legally, to take care and watch after their pets, especially if they have violent tendencies. Live outside the Ocala Police Department, I'm Carolina Tortorelli, WUFT News.
And in Levy County, deputies are fighting back rumors about their response to an aggressive dog. A deputy responded to a call in Williston when a dog came up to him. The deputy shot the dog after trying to stop the attack using alternative methods. That was the second dog to attack a Levy County deputy in a week.
Parents and guardians, if you have kids in Alachua County Public Schools, you may want to know about a recent memo about immigration officers in the district. Under the district's policy, ICE can detain students without a warrant or parental consent for questioning. Parents have the opportunity to speak about this matter at the school board meeting. Allies of the immigrant community say ICE's presence may create stress for students and parents, no matter their immigration status. Gainesville Immigrant Neighbor Inclusive Initiative members are outraged at the lack of transparency.
We all would like some pretty basic standards of asking for warrants and parental consent on who's speaking with our children.
The district sent out a memo due to the recent changes to immigrant enforcement. The School Board of Alachua County meeting happens at 6 p.m.
Also on the agenda tonight, the Newberry Charter School conversion. The discussion was taken out of the meeting agenda earlier this week, but now it's back in the planner. We told you last week the Florida Charter School Review Commission unanimously approved converting Newberry Elementary School to a charter school in fall 2026. School board members are expected to discuss the impacts to students and families during tonight's meeting. We have a team covering the meeting and we'll bring you the latest on WUFT.org.
Marion County Public Schools Superintendent Diane Gillett is leaving at the end of the current school year. The first ever appointed superintendent spoke about her time in this role at a school board meeting Tuesday evening.
Everything we've done has been about students, and it will continue to be. I know we've accomplished a lot, and there's a lot more work to be done, but I am just, again, very, very grateful.
Gillett joined MCPS in July 2020 in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. She offered no details for her reason on departure, but indicated her last day with the district will be July 11th. School board members are beginning their new search for a superintendent.
Let's take a live look out on our FDOT cams. Traffic seems to be flowing smoothly along I-75. The Florida landscape is just beautiful and the weather is nice. We know conditions are subject to change and may get severe in some areas. Now let's join UF forecaster Matthew Clark, who is in the Weather Center. Matthew, it looks like we get to enjoy the sunshine for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of the clouds, it's a great day for you. Blue skies overhead on that campus cam. We're just shy of 80 degrees right now. Getting some pretty warm winds from the southwest, around 14 miles per hour. So we're feeling a little bit warmer. Those severe storms are going to start to flare up later tonight over in Texas and Texarkana. However, over here in Florida, there is nothing going on. The system's going to start to move its way towards us. I'll have that in a few minutes. But again, temperatures right now, it is just a gorgeous day outside. Temperatures for the rest of our area, 78 over in Ocala, 79 in Stark, and 79 over in Jacksonville, 80 in Placa actually. So we have seen 80 here today. We're going to be warming up again as we head into the weekend, but we're cooling down first as we head into the overnight hours. Clouds are going to be back as we start to head into tomorrow morning, waking up in the upper 40s again. So again, it's going to be a little bit chilly waking up in those upper 40s, then heating up into those 70s. But then the 80s are coming back. I'll have that and some more in a few minutes.
The Gilchrist County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting in the unincorporated area of Bell. So far, the incident seems like the result of a property dispute between neighbors that turned violent. One person was taken to the hospital with critical injuries from multiple gunshot wounds, and the shooter is in custody. The Sheriff's Office says it will release more information when available.
A 43-year-old Marion County man will spend the next 50 years behind bars after being found guilty of multiple charges of drug trafficking. Just a few hours ago, a jury found Santini Crislam guilty on 5 charges of drug trafficking. In 2021, parole officers did a check on Crislam's home and found drugs and guns inside. Marion County deputies questioned Crislam and his wife, but they both denied owning the drugs. Crislam's wife was charged back in 2023 and was found guilty on all charges. She served 21 months in prison.
Bellevue police officers are investigating the cause of a crash between a car and a motorcycle that sent 3 people to the hospital. Marion County Fire Rescue crews responded to the crash at around 3:50 p.m. Tuesday. The driver of the car was trapped in the wreck when crews arrived. After crews rescued the driver, he and 2 other people were trauma alerted to the hospital.
For anyone who owns a cell phone, you may have gotten a text recently asking you to pay your Florida tolls. Don't pay it. Now, I'm not saying don't pay your toll bills. I mean, don't click the link. Marion County Sheriff's Office says scammers are sending fake texts to pay tolls with links. SunPass will not text you for payments. Those will be sent by mail. Do not click the link. Delete the message and block the number. If you have any questions, check your SunPass account on the official website. And in less than half an hour, a woman could be getting over $100,000 from a Gainesville energy company. Lois Skipper spent 10 days in the hospital after she was hit by a Gainesville regional utility driver. The GRU Authority Board recommended to approve her settlement.
Your ride could be getting longer. Starting this weekend, ramps on I-75 are closing for repaving. Only one ramp will be closed at a time. The first one is closing on the northbound off-ramp to County Road 484. It'll be closed nightly on Sunday and Monday from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. On Tuesday and Wednesday night, the on-ramp from County Road 484 will close. If you get onto I-75 from this ramp, you can continue driving east to use ramp on State Road 200. Coming up on First at 5, we have the status on a gun bill moving through the Florida House. It could make major waves on gun ownership in the state.
And we're only 2 hours away from a double launch from SpaceX. How the success of the launch could bring 2 stranded astronauts back home.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
It's been nearly a year since 2 astronauts became stranded in space, but today's SpaceX launch could bring them home. If all goes well, a 4-person crew will head to the International Space Station in just a couple of hours. Crew 10's flight will set the stage for astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams to come back home. Once they get the new crew familiar with the space station, SpaceX will prepare a return flight for them. In the past couple months, we've seen 2 failed test launches of SpaceX's Starship, a flight that hopes to one day bring the astronauts to Mars. If launch conditions for today's flight aren't ideal, a backup launch time is set for tomorrow night.
And right after Crew 10 is set to launch, SpaceX is sending more satellites to space. This batch includes 21 Starlink satellites, including 13 with direct-to-cell capabilities. This is part of SpaceX's mission of providing high-speed internet around the world.
If you're 18, you might be able to buy a gun in Florida soon. A House panel met today to approve a proposal that would lower the minimum age to buy a long gun. The bill would repeal a 2018 law preventing people from under 21 from buying rifles and shotguns. The law originally passed after a 19-year-old shooter killed 17 people at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. The Florida House tried to repeal the law last year, but the state Senate didn't approve it. The controversial bill is sparking debate on the House floor.
By lowering the minimum age for firearm purchases to 18, we acknowledge the responsibilities and rights that come with adulthood.
We must think harder and longer. 18-year-olds don't need guns. We don't let them drink alcohol for a reason, because they're not ready yet.
The bill would not only lower the minimum age to buy guns like rifles and shotguns, federal law bans people under 21 from buying handguns.
Another weather system is going to form ahead of the weekend. I'm timing out this storm for your weekend plans after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
You know, I am absolutely loving the weather that we've been seeing in Gainesville here the past 2 days.
Now, I gotta say, Charlize, or anyone at home, if you're trying to have a picnic in the park, today is the perfect day. But as UF forecaster Matthew Clark will tell you in a few seconds, it doesn't look like it's gonna stay that way.
Yeah, well, we're going to enjoy it for now at least. With the daylight saving time, you have a little bit more time to enjoy that sunlight and overlooking that campus cam. There is not a cloud in sight. It is just a sea of blue skies. We've warmed up quite nicely today, just shy of 80 degrees here. And just look at that, not a cloud on either side of this campus cam. It's just a gorgeous day to enjoy that extra hour of sunlight that we had given to us on Sunday. So temperatures for the rest of our area, 78 in Ocala. Placa actually reached 80, and I'm feeling a little bit cooler over in Cedar Key, 71 degrees over there. Just a beautiful night. Temperatures are going to start to drop as we head into tonight. Clear night skies are going to stay consistent, and we're still dropping into the 50s, and then we're going to be waking up in the upper 40s tomorrow. Today, though, there is a severe risk for parts of the Midwest. Right over here, there's only a slight risk in parts of northeast Texas. That's a part of this weather system right here, this low pressure system. Starting to kick up a few clouds, but as we head into the later hours tonight, some storms are going to start to fire up along this cold front, and it's going to move into Arkansas. Look at that, some pretty strong storms tonight. But then this low pressure system is going to fade out. It's going to bring us some clouds tomorrow afternoon. So all that rain is going to stay north of us here in Georgia and north in Alabama, but we're going to get some overhead clouds tomorrow, cooling us down ever so slightly tomorrow. And then Friday, we're warming up even more. We're getting a lot of winds from the south, so we're going to be feeling a little bit warmer on Friday. As a matter of fact, we're going to be in the 80s here in Gainesville on Friday, 82 in Gainesville, 84 in Ocala, and 84 down in the villages. So we're going to get a little bit cool down tomorrow, and then on Friday, we're going to have a warm up. And also on Friday, there is a large area of enhanced risk for parts of the Midwest, spanning all the way from Mississippi up to Ohio. This low pressure system, which is going to be much stronger, is going to form Friday night and it's going to start to flare up some very strong, severe thunderstorms in parts of the southeast and move its way towards our area. Late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, that cloud coverage is going to start to cover our area, and the rain chances are going to increase by 2 p.m. And that rain is going to stay pretty consistent throughout the evening into Monday afternoon. So if you have weekend plans, Saturday is the day to do it. Look at that, 86 degrees on Saturday. It's going to be beautiful on Saturday. Some clouds overhead, but we're going to be feeling a lot warmer. And then on Sunday, those rain chances are going to increase as we head into those afternoon hours on Sunday. So if you're going outside on Saturday, great. Sunday, maybe not so much. Not going to be getting too much rain, just about a half an inch here in Gainesville. Most of that rain is going to stay up in the panhandle. But again, Sunday, we have some thunderstorms coming our way, about a 50% chance as we head into the afternoon hours. It's going to drop our temperatures a little bit into the 70s, and we're warming up again next week.
New studies by AAA says don't get behind the wheel under the influence of any drug, even marijuana. In the 2 studies conducted, AAA found almost 85% of confirmed cannabis users drive the same day they consume cannabis, with 53% of that group saying they consumed it less than an hour before driving. Unlike alcohol, the effects of marijuana are complicated and hard to quantify. Some effects include fatigue, brain fog, changes in perception, impaired movement, and hallucinations.
Florida basketball star-studded point guard Walter Clayton Jr. is no stranger to accolades. He now has a big one on his resume. Sharpshooter has become the first Gator in program history to receive first-team All-America honors. More on this after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Hannah Mack. Florida men's basketball is ready to head to Nashville, but this time they'll be traveling with the Gator who accomplished something that's never been done before. Jada has more on the story.
Walter Clayton Jr. continues to make history. He was selected as first-team All-American this morning by Sporting News. Florida's senior guard becomes the first player in program history to earn that status. Clayton is the 6th Gator to earn first, second, or third-team All-American recognition. He is the team's leading scorer for the second straight season, averaging 17.2 points per game. He has helped lead Florida to wins versus 2 different #1 opponents, just the 5th team in men's college basketball history to do so. Clayton Jr. is grateful for the recognition.
The guy that I've been with this year, being what we've been through, it'd be an honor for anybody, you know. So it's a great honor. I'm thankful, and definitely need a little more.
Clayton has already earned all SEC honors from the Coaches Associated Press and USA Today. He is also a top 15 finalist for the Wooden Award and one of 5 finalists for the Bob Cousy Award. Reporting for WUFT Sports, I'm Jada Ross.
Clayton Jr. continues to be a leader for the team, but all players are ready to take the court in just a few days. The Gators have a double bye in the tournament and will not tip off until Friday night. Florida will take on Mississippi State, LSU, or get a rematch against their only home loss of the season, Missouri. Regardless of who they play, Todd Golden says the team is motivated and ready to go.
Our players are really, really motivated to play well in Nashville. I think with some of the all-league teams landing where they did, it provided some really good motivation.
Tournament action has already begun, and one team is already moving on. Arkansas took care of South Carolina in a close matchup, and Vanderbilt is ahead of Texas at the half thanks to winning the rebounding battle. Heading outdoors, Florida lacrosse took on 23rd-ranked Navy Wednesday. The Gators chasing a 3rd-ranked victory this season in the afternoon sunshine. The midshipmen found a way to put the Gators on the ropes for much of the game. The hosts trailed by 4 late in the 3rd quarter, but fought their way back into the game. It was Ginny Markey's goal with just over 3 minutes to go that was the difference for Florida. The Syracuse transfer giving the team the only lead they need as they'd go on to win it 14-13. Head coach Amanda O'Leary is proud of the way her team fought at the end.
I couldn't be more proud of them for doing that. I think we had a mindset of, we knew this was going to be a tough game. I mean, Navy is Navy. They're just a tough team to play.
On the diamond, a handful of high school baseball teams will play this week. Included are the Buchholz Bobcats that are looking to stay undefeated. Buchholz will look to improve to 10-0 when they take on Bishop Kenny tonight at 6 p.m. Bobcats are ranked 3rd in the state and have picked up where they left off from last season. Tomorrow's games include a matchup between Trenton and Santa Fe and Newberry and Suwanee. Both games are set to begin at 7 p.m. Finally, Florida softball will take on the University of Central Florida tonight in Gainesville. Catch the game at 6 p.m. in just a little bit. We'll be right back after the break.
Still got time to get outside and enjoy that sunshine today before those clouds start rolling back in as we head into the end of the week. Gradually starting to warm up as we head into that weekend with some rain on Sunday as it's going to move in from another front before it cools us back down on Monday. That rain chance on Monday is in the early morning hours, but we got a fluctuating week of weather, guys.
Well, Matthew, it looks like a lot of people are going to be starting their spring break with some stormy weather, but hopefully it'll clear up towards the end.
Yeah, next Wednesday looks like it'll be pretty nice, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Matthew, and thank you all for joining us at home. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and on all of our social media platforms. Have a great night.